funny.
I'm an old man that just left my country the first time.
I never left before.
I
I never left. I left.
And you're young.
Yeah, I still have a time.
You have so much time.
Yeah.
So dream big.
Came together.
Huh? No, I met him today. I'm traveling alone, and he's traveling alone. So,
Yeah, you can do it. I was 17, and when I was 18, I started traveling. I didn't think I
And now,
could do
how
it.
old are you?
20.
he's a young boy, young man.
And you just gotta save up your money.
But he is almost a teenager. Used to be.
I'm gonna go to 7.
You enjoy. Bye bye. You
Nice
guys
to
have
meet
fun.
you.
Thank you for the laugh.
I told you they mad nice here, bro.
Well, she was funny. Did you? You didn't see the girl.
Nah,
She
I
goes
heard
over
it.
She goes over there between the motorcycles. She spreads her legs, and then between her legs, I started seeing water or liquid.
Yeah.
You know, and all of us, I was like, oh, she's peeing. And it was her water bottle. She was just dumping her water out. But she took the position of a guy.
Yeah.
You know, the real question here is, what is the legal age of consent?
Bro, it's like 16.
Oh no, really?
15? Nah, I think it's like 15.
Oh my god, oh. Yeah.
But these girls are very like,
Down to play.
I feel like they're childish a little bit. Even the 20-something-year-olds.
Most, yeah, they want to play.
Of course, they want to, but they've never, you feel me?
Well, no, but I mean, like, even the older ones down on, they're still stuck in that, I want to play, I want to party,
yeah.
I want to go out. You
Yeah.
know, they haven't moved past that. That would seem like a maturity thing. So,
That's how women are, bro.
yeah, no, my
Unless
mom
they have a
is-
kid and shit.
I got an 80-year-old mom who's the most immature woman I've ever met.
Damn.
You know? So, yeah, no, you have a 30-year-old and she's immature. None of that works.
They never grow up.
And, yeah. That was cute.
Facts. I felt like a little sister. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're still in high school. Like, that behavior is very normal right up till probably sophomore, junior in college. The freshmen are still behaving like they're in high school. Like,
Bro, where I'm from, bro, by 8th grade, these bitches lose their innocence.
well, losing their innocence and still wanting to be children are two different things.
That's true.
So,
But these bitches was
sounds
dating
to me
grown
like she's
men.
traveled, she's done
Oh, yeah.
some things, you know. So,
She know what she want. But she just sheltered a little bit.
yeah.
Because she in high school.
And the thing is women go through the same emotional, attracted, I'm horny energy.
Oh,
Are
shit.
those two having a fight? Is it the two black cats?
Yeah.
Then
All day, right?
half the time they're hanging out with each other, chilling. The other half the time they're fighting.
Bro, I saw one of them running here earlier.
Then she got chased back out. Well, that would explain it. So yeah, we probably have a whole bunch of high schoolers
Yeah.
who came for the festival, came to party. I suspect that that's a common thing in Thailand. High schoolers, it's a small country. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
easily travel around it. So,
But damn, like you said, but they be getting horny. And they have nowhere to run.
they have nowhere to run, nowhere to turn to. And I've noticed that when I was in college, if you just make yourself present and they end up getting horny, they're looking for the closest man. And it just, if you just happen to be around, they're like, that's the man I'm gonna pick. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, there were like 3 different groups that came in bands, and a van would pull up and just all these women were piling out of the vans with their suitcases. And I was just sitting here trying not to watch them. I was just like ignoring them,
Yeah.
but acutely aware that every one of them were gorgeous. The last thing I wanted to do was stare. And I broke the ice. I talked to a few of them earlier today.
I ain't gonna lie, it's very different here though. Like rarely you'll get disrespected for even trying to talk to a girl here, bro.
You do what?
I said you'll really get disrespected for trying to talk to a girl here.
You'll get disrespected?
Rarely.
Rarely. No, yeah, no. You probably go through the same thing where people are like, what are you talking to her for?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, it's completely different here.
Bro, they
Nobody's
encourage
up-
you to talk to the woman.
They're
here.
encouraging you, and they're not up in your business.
When I was in Budapest, bro, that shit felt like war every time I went somewhere.
Really?
Can't even look at a woman without everybody looking at everybody mad at you, bro.
Well, I'm glad I came here. I expected Budapest and most of Eastern Europe to be very much more looser dating-wise.
They
But-
are with like white guys.
I don't know if it's still even white guys. I still think it goes back to outsiders.
No, because you see them in the club, bro. They're just throwing themselves on white guys, bro, that don't even want them. But any black guy that comes near them, they're like running and shit. It was crazy out there, bro. They're disrespecting all day, bro. On the train, they'll stare at you. You say something, they'll act like you're embarrassing them and shit. Like,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Just trying to
Yeah,
embarrass
no,
you.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it totally fucking sucks. So,
But they really want you. They
yeah,
just
no,
want the
exactly.
attention.
It's just that society and the community is like scorning them
Yep.
to where they just avoid you and won't talk to you. That was like all my fucking college life. I didn't go to college till I was 37. Like just any type of interaction,
Damn.
like all of their friends would be up at me like, "What are you talking to
Yep.
him for?"
Yep.
Yeah. And the only girls I ended up dating were the ones that came to me and said, "I want to date you."
Yeah.
And we'd go out like with Tess, and an older woman would come up and be like, "You know, he just wants to have sex with you."
But
And Tess
women
would look
love
back
that
and say,
shit.
"Good, because that's what I want from him." Like I needed a girl who would step the fuck up to the plate.
That shit happened to my boy in Budapest, bro.
Yeah.
My black friend. He was trying to talk to his girl. She tried to like do that shit to him. Another girl came on the train. She was with it. And then she's like, "Why are you talking to him?" And then she just disrespected the other girl and shit, made her look stupid.
Yep. Because he rocks, yo.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta look past that and listen to what comes out of their mouth. What's going on in their head? And you know, it's really sad is that like everybody seems to think that they're the thing.
That's what I'm
You
saying,
go
bro.
just about anywhere, and you're like, you take that white person and put him somewhere else, and he's suddenly a nobody. You take him and put him in China, and he's a white monkey.
For real.
You know, it's just like, and the only reason they don't appreciate that is because they've never experienced it. The moment you experience it, you start feeling it and go, no, no.
It
Not
humbles
me,
you.
not you, not nobody.
It humbles you, bro.
Yeah, no, it totally, and it causes you to be willing, like I will totally step. I have spent many years on an Indian reservation, and we'd go into town, and if there were, you know, I'd have, sitting at a bar, and I had called an Indian friend of mine over to sit down, and immediately as soon as he sat down, some white guy would come and stand over and be like, what you doing in here?
Yeah.
And it's my table.
Yeah.
I would totally get up and I bumped him back and says, that's my fucking table. You don't come in and tell anybody you can sit at my table. You get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And this white boy just had no clue. But, you know, I grew up in that country. I'll take white boy cowboy and scalp his ass real quick. Hand his dead ass over to his daddy. Say, catch yourself the marshal and grab the posse because I'm waiting. And they would back. They're like, leave Bill the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just stay away from him because he's not going to tolerate that stuff from your white ass. We had the last chapter of the KKK was active in our town up into the 90s.
In Colorado?
Yeah, and their families are there, their children are there, their attitude and their businesses are there. Oh, I went on so many rants. I wrote some rants out to the Attorney General. I got some people fired and just like, fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
It's like, let's have a bonfire, you know? And they're all Christian, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I immediately look and says, well, then you're a nigger. You're bought, you're paid for, you're a slave.
Right.
You're owned by that. And they don't like that mentality, and I would treat them that way too, and they don't like it.
They love doing it, though.
They love doing it, because you can dish it out, but you can't take it. So, and that they were, you know, they entirely were surviving on the fact that they were all the way out in the middle of nowhere, and nobody was going to interfere with them.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I'll get Washington in here. I'll bring the FBI in here. We'll make sure, because I'll be loud. I'll send it out to the newspapers. We'll make sure, I'll make you famous. Like, I'm used to being in the spotlight, and I'll bring you along with me. And as soon as I would bring a spotlight in, they'd be like running for the corners, you know?
That shit happened to me in high school, bro. I brought the news in.
Yeah.
Bro, the principal's crying.
Oh,
The same one that expelled me 100, crying in my
Yes.
face. I don't want to lose my job.
Not my
You
problem.
can't do this.
shouldn't have done that. Stupid choice. Yeah, good for you, because that's what you need to do. You absolutely have to have a zero tolerance for it and take their job. Take their job.
I be feeling bad, bro.
No, don't ever feel bad. I got put in jail in Wyoming for a little bit of pot. And I was in there for 60 days, and in that 60 days, I got a guard put on leave, and I got the nurse fired. And I got almost closed the jail down by calling in OSHA.
Yeah.
I says, you want me in jail? Fine, but I'm going to make your life miserable. And the judge said, you go on home. We don't want you in our jails. I'm like, no, you don't want me in your jails.
For real.
So, yeah, anytime you can jump in there and take their career, their property, their future, if you can take their reputation, do it.
So yeah, my heart, I don't be.
Huh?
Like, you can do me so dirty, bro, and I'll just forgive you.
Yep.
Bro, I have so many people, like,
But that's
lawsuits I can file, bro.
Right. But don't you think, here's something my mom told me a few years ago, because I used to be the same way until I was about 40. I would just take it, turn the other cheek, take it, turn the other cheek, losing contracts, losing money, losing relationships. And my mom looked at me one day, she says, don't you think you're old enough to determine when you should turn the other cheek and when you shouldn't?
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression that I should turn the other cheek always. That's just my obligation. That's not your obligation to humanity, it's your obligation to your brother.
For real.
You turn the other cheek for your brother. not to the stranger.
That is true.
And here's the other thing. It's like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you were doing that, what do you want them to do to you? If I'm crawling in your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, I want you to hit me in the head with a baseball bat.
Facts.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do to somebody crawling in my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because if I was doing that, that's what I would want you to do.
Real shit.
So I ended up flipping those words in a way that was like, okay, this is a more accurate way of interpreting that.
Yeah.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If I'm making that stupid mistake, I need to be disciplined. So if you're doing it, you need to be disciplined. And the judges are no different, politicians, teachers. So don't ever hesitate. When you get a chance, you close it down, you put some money in your account, and you move on.
Damn.
So I played guitar on the street on Saturdays for years and ended up for 5 years being treated like I was a homeless guy. They were calling the cops. I ain't calling the cops on me. Just doing all kinds of shit. They'd come out of their business and walk 50 feet down the sidewalk and tell me, you can't be on the sidewalk, public sidewalk. They're like, why don't you go get a job? And I looked at them and I said, because I made 100% in the market last year, so go back into your store and sell some trinkets. And they would just like be speechless. They just didn't know how to respond. And it's truthful. I'm not lying. I did make 100% in the market last year. But you see what I mean?
They just want to be better than you.
That's
why I hate that shit.
Have to be better than you. And they have to control the space, and they have to control the commerce, and they have to control who does business. And that's the only reason that they are where they are. Because they can't legitimately compete.
For real.
They really can't. And with me, like I dropped out of high school, started my own business, and I've always been completely able to take care of myself, which means they can't control my income, they can't control anything, and so they would try to fuck with me.
That's why they hate you.
Yeah, no, they have no control over me.
Because they know you don't have a boss to answer to and shit.
Yeah, I am self-sovereign. That's very, very powerful. But I feel you. I totally am like, would encourage you to just put every nail in the coffin that you possibly can. And the moment the head of that snake shows itself, just cut it off.
Facts.
So, and technically that to some extent is your obligation to humanity. To be truthful, to be just.
I believe in like God will handle it.
Like what?
I believe like God will handle it. You feel me?
Yeah, well, on the other hand, God expects you to handle some things.
That is true.
Okay.
But I usually just take it as a learning lesson and then keep moving.
That's fine. There's a certain point when you're going to get old enough to where you're going to look at it and say, it's my responsibility to teach a lesson.
Exactly.
And then that's when I'm telling you, do it. Like, I'm a grandpa.
Yeah.
I'll walk into a room full of grandpas and I'll fucking put my foot down. Like, I've reached that point now where I can be like, I'm the authority in the space.
Yeah.
That means it is my responsibility to cut the head off the snake the moment it shows its face.
That is true.
Okay, so just remember me in your older years. There's going to be that point, and when it happens, just don't hesitate. Say, no, this is the time. I'm stepping past the student and becoming the teacher. And these white people need some teaching.
That's some real game.
Oh man, just beautiful. So, you guys have fun.
Thanks, bro.
She belongs in America, bro.
Yeah, she's
She got
totally
an American spirit.
Americanized. Thank you, bro. No, it's all cool, yo, Joe. Told you there's a fucking party going on.
Hell yeah, bro.
But it is a high school party, so I'm not. As soon as she said that, I'm like, okay, I'm not nearly inclined to want to go. If it was a college party, I'm like,
yeah.
I want a beer, But I will always respectfully like, no, I'll stay away from high school. You've got to be. I've had a rule my entire life: you have to be out of high school and over 18. So, which means you can't be out of high school and 17. You can't be 18 and still in school. You have to be both.
Yeah, 17 and 18 is a huge difference.
There is a huge difference, and
Even
being
18
in high
and
school
19.
and being in college is there's a big
Yeah.
mentality. And once you're out of high school, you've either got a job that you're going to, or you've got college, and there are these shifts that are definitely going on there. So, God, I get it. They will hit on you.
Oh yeah.
They're safe. They feel safe. High school girls feel safe hitting on their women because they feel like there's a boundary there where, like, you know, I can flirt with you, but you're gonna stay over there because I'm this. Just like she said.
And they're more open.
Yeah, because they feel safe.
Yeah.
As soon as she told me she was 17 and still in high school, she is like, now she felt like that's no more flirting.
For real.
Yeah. So. And what I've learned over the years.
But she tried to say she was 18 though. That's what they be doing. She said I'm 17, 18.
No, I did that. I said she's 18 or 17.
Oh.
And then she said, yeah, 17, 18. Because she was just kind of agreeing that she's in that range. So.
But you know she look up to that American girl shit. She want to be out here living life fast.
Well, I don't even know that. You gotta, I think, from the perception, it's like, from the perception of their, like, if she's a small village girl in Thailand, her perception of American women is there's a lot of money and fancy cars and big, pretty houses and, you know, like, she's not looking, like, there's no videos of the inner cities, you know. And unless she's watching videos of Los Angeles and all the homeless people, all she's getting is MTV and, you know, the videos.
Yeah.
So that will paint a picture, just like Hollywood would paint a picture of what America's like, and it's not real.
For real.
So, but Hollywood in America has done very good at advertising this premise that anywhere in these countries you go, they feel like you are privileged and rich and blah, blah, blah. And they haven't gone to the country to see the reality of it.
But if you made it this far, they assume, like, it's right for them to assume that because they don't see you every day.
Yeah, well, yeah, and just about every American that comes through here is probably spending money. They've got a lot of money, and they got nothing to do but just sit around, and they got plenty of money that just the government gives them money. I've got a friend in Africa. He makes $25 a month, and we'll talk on Messenger, and he's like, "Well, doesn't the government just send you money? Just send you check? Don't you just get money just for living there?" And there are a lot of people in America that just because they live there, they get a check.
Oh yeah.
They had a kid, they're on welfare, the state's taking care of them. All they have to do is live there. And to somebody who's making $25 a month,
That's crazy.
that's rich. I mean, the government's paying $600 or $1,000 in welfare, and he's looking at it going, you know, I could be rich, but he's not looking at what it would cost to live in America. He doesn't realize that he's actually got it better where he's at because the cost of living is so drastically cheaper.
But they don't want that.
But they don't want that. And honestly, like, I'm sitting here looking at Thailand and going, this is by far better in your freedoms, your ability to have fun.
They don't see it like that.
And they don't see it that way.
Because they ain't turning up, they ain't looking at it with a bright side like a tourist.
And the other thing is, it's like my mom, she lives in a town that she doesn't know any of the neighbors, doesn't know anybody. She's got to drive a half hour to get to a grocery store.
Yeah.
You know, nothing is convenient. And she thinks she's just like, she lives in kind of paradise, like, this is great. And you go to someplace like here where everything's within 50 meters.
Yeah.
Everything, you just walk around the corner, you can buy whatever, middle of the night, you can get whatever you want. And she thinks this would be hell.
For real.
So she's actually would be advertising that her way of life would be better. And it's really sad because you'll take people like this away from someplace like this with their family and put them out there in the middle of a subdivision where they have no friends and no neighbors and no nothing. And that's the American reality. So, and every one of them are looking for, this one. Like, she would totally, like, if she was 18, I could totally bag her as a long-term girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
If I talked about, like, taking her to America.
She ain't seen nothing.
She would totally, yeah, it's crazy. So, and I would have no problem doing a short term, like a year, 2, 3, dating just for the premise
what?
Huh?
What? That's what every man's dream is.
Just for the premise of taking people on travels. I just want a travel partner for a while.
That's all a man needs, bro.
Yeah. And the girls that I dated in college, they were temporary, a year, maybe 2, just because we were experiencing these things together. And then they moved off and went off and did their grad work or what have you, and I went off and did my stuff. So I am not at all opposed to taking a young girlfriend, knowing it's a short time, probably not going to be long term. And we can, both do an awful lot of things that we want to do. And it's the young girls who want to travel.
Yep.
I want to travel. I go talking to some 30, 40-year-old, they're like, I want a house. I'm like, that's exactly what I don't want.
For real.
I want a piece of land so when I'm older I can go back to it. But what I really want is somebody who's active and strong enough to want to go travel.
It's every man's dream.
But I don't want to pay for them. I want them to be able to pay their own way.
Oh, that's different now.
And so that really puts me a lot more back into the American girls who have been working and have been making money and have the ability to go travel. Because very few of these girls have saved up anything and can just afford to go anywhere. So I would end up being a papa bear, and I really don't want that kind of relationship.
Facts.
If I had more money, I would though.
Yeah.
If that crypto took off and broke 6 digits this year, I would totally pull out enough money to just carry a girl along with me while I travel.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd just go up to absolutely the prettiest one up there and be like, hey, do you want to go traveling with me for a few months?
Easy.
I'll tell her I'll buy your food and I'll buy your housing and everything else you have to take care of. So you have to take care of your nail polish and your clothes and stuff like that. And I think most of them would be able to do that. Buy their own clothes, and I get the tickets and I buy the food and I get the hotels, and if they want little things along the way, they'd be able to get that stuff.
They don't ask for much.
No, they don't. But that's also because they don't have much to ask for. American women ask for a lot because they see it every single day and they go, I want that.
Hell yeah.
I want that. Here, they're not seeing it every single day, so they're not even, if you took the same person and took her to America, it wouldn't take very long before she's looking at things going, I want that and I want that. But as it is now, they aren't familiar with that
shit.
So I love watching the way people walk. It says so much. You have the young girl in front, she's just casually walking along checking her phone. And then the older woman is just very aggressive and determined to get someplace to go.
Damn, life changes.
Well, that's the funny thing is because that doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to grow older to change.
Yeah.
It comes like the old men you don't have to be an old man. Why can't you be the laughing Buddha? Why can't you find so much joy in life that you're just an old man who's full of joy and laughter instead of sitting in a bar depressed and angry and growling and scowling? I suspect I'm going to be getting hit on by 18, 19-year-olds when I'm 80 if I maintain my laughter and my joy and my desire to dance. All of these things are the things that the women will notice.
For real.
And, the girls will flirt. They won't be serious, but they'll flirt with me, and that'll make me feel good.
For real.
Because I've almost given up on anything that's in that teenage area. Like 21, 22 is still like in the headspace where they're willing to jump. In fact, most of them are even looking for an older man to try out.
That's all they want, bro.
Yeah, they're looking for an older man to try out.
They don't want young guys their age. Females don't want guys their age till they're like 26.
Yeah, and then by 30 they want younger men.
Yep.
So, it's no different. I mean, they look for the younger man to make them feel younger. It's exactly what a man
It makes them feel wanted.
It makes them feel wanted, makes them feel younger. And the younger man's got more energy. An older man generally is getting lazy and lethargic and wants to just come home and watch TV.
Exactly.
And the younger man wants to go out and do something this weekend. Let's go hiking, let's go dancing, let's do something. But again, it goes back to if you choose to not sit in front of the TV, if you choose to be the young man all the way through, you'll continue to attract.
Yeah.
So, there's so many of them that are out. Man, if I was here, I would be in such good shape. I'd be like the hottest fucking 80-year-old in this town. Just like there's a few whales out there.
Yeah, bro, that shit's crazy.
With these little tiny young Thai girls. I would move here. You know why? Everything that's going on here, like my dating girls in college, like I have had death threats. I have lost jobs. I've lost amenities, spaces, and friends, all from California feminists who seem to think that an older man's taking advantage of the woman. I'm going, do you realize how discriminating you are towards this young adult? Just treating her like a child.
They're jealous.
Yeah, no, they are jealous, but you either way, like I get here and it's obvious that the life that the dating a younger girl is not going to get me ostracized, attacked.
Bro, they look at it like you worked hard for that, bro.
Huh?
You worked hard for that.
Right. I know it.
Your status and bro, that's what gets you them. In America, they look at you like you're doing something wrong for getting what you want.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I was over 200 pounds and nobody had a problem with me. I drop all my weight and start getting into shape and suddenly they're just like, whoa, and they'll literally will have like a chip on their shoulder. So.
Well, people, right?
Just people. Yeah.
They're jealous, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for the amount of it, and I wasn't ready for the quantity. I moved into a town of, we had a college of 30,000 students.
Yeah.
We had 6,000 freshmen a year. And so it was just an overwhelming number. And not only that, but it is the world's leading school in feminism. Davis is the school. If you're a feminist doing women's studies, that's the school you go to. So I was surrounded by women who just hate men.
That's all America is, to be honest.
Oh, right now it's like they are all in it.
Hate, man.
Hate. And so, like, this is like, I'm really head shy. I'm just like very cautious talking to them and all of that because every time I do. Huh?
You can't even, bro.
Oh no, it's been.
It's nothing in your favor, bro. You're not gonna get anything in your favor.
Right, but my point is here. It's going to be fine. I can see that now. Not only fine, but encouraged.
Bro, what?
So.
Nigga, you're a king here. You're a peasant in America.
Well, no, I was a king in America too. That's why I was making people jealous.
Oh yeah.
I got exactly what I wanted, when I wanted it, how I wanted it, and the government got pissed over it. And the reality check is I don't go out and do things for other people. I'm just doing what me.
Yeah.
But most people, I can manifest whatever I want. I can just I suspect you're the same way. If you want to do something, you just make it happen.
Dude.
And most people don't.
They hate that.
They can't do it. They're so jealous. You know.
People are tied down to a lot of bad mistakes and shit.
Yeah. And they're wrapped up with words like I can't. I can't do that. I have a job. I can't do that. I have a house. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Don't
I
even remind me about that one.
Oh, I know it. And I sense that you don't have I can't in your vocabulary.
I had to cut everyone off like that.
Yeah, no. They'll drag you down.
No matter
Is
how
that a-
far I go, bro, people are still telling me I can't.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
And it's like, no, it's not a matter that I can't. It's a matter that you can't. And you want to put it on me.
not even that. People will just call you, and they'll be like, because I've been doing this traveling shit for a while.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell me what can't be done